Hi, I'm Justin.
Also, I hate the way my voice sounds, so if you can do whatever Photoshop does to voices, make me sound awesome.
And this is my lovely friend,
The beauty in the eyes of the beholder, and it's just about getting into the seat of being the beholder.
Hayley.
I don't think you have to be particularly perceptive. I just think you have to look up.
This podcast is mostly just her telling me stories.
If you expose yourself to the possibility that this might be really awkward, there can be something just really cool on the other side of it.
She thinks that her life and way of looking at things are
Oh, I was kind of waiting on you. I thought you were getting your stuff ready. You're waiting on me?
pretty normal.
You got to edit out all the misinformation about the Amish.
Maybe you can relate.
I would like a chance to re-sing the Amish Paradise.
If you want lighthearted stories
All right, you want to talk about goats?
and stream of consciousness,
I just woke up and needed some friends, and so I bought them.
then you're gonna like the Sunny Side Up podcast.
Sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up.
So, if you're at all like me, you may feel that you're living in a world that can be a bit overwhelming and confusing at times. I'm also a huge fan of podcasts, documentaries, docudramas, stories, and of just information in general. Between all of that and the social media and news, sometimes our brains can feel like they're on overload. Hayley and I hope that this podcast can be something of an antidote to all of that. Like little jello shots of joy and distraction. None of it is too serious or really too informative. Mostly it's just two friends who have conversational chemistry talking about whatever enters the minds of relatively ADHD people. We hope you enjoy.
I
my
have some
rambling.
cousins who have done extremely well in a very popular MLM, which they would deny as a pyramid scheme, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a top-down hierarchy where you make more of your money by recruiting other people to sell the same product than you do make actually selling the product.
Yes.
And it has been warned by the FTC and letters gone out saying you are not allowed to continue to make these posts on social media that promote your income and your lifestyle because you know that's not a realistic expectation of most of the people signing up. So cease and desist, like a legitimate federal government said,
good.
hush your mouth about these things. And immediately silence fell through my Facebook feed. It got so quiet. People were like, what has happened?
Yeah.
And that's what. The products were good, if not overpriced.
Yeah.
But the same cousins who, again, have made millions. Like, they've done well. They're near the top of the pyramid, and they
bless them.
hustle.
Yep,
They're
absolutely.
boss babes.
Yep.
But one of them, during the pandemic, there was a video that was circulating. I think it was during the pandemic. People are getting so distrustful of media. It might have been 2016 election cycle, but I think it was the 2020 election cycle when it came to a fervor about don't trust what you see and everything's fake news.
Yeah.
And everything is a scheme and it's out to get you. And we've mentioned on here before that I think some of that's rooted in some of our flavors of Christianity that tell you like, nobody's going to know the truth except for Christians. The world's out to trick you. And it's like, dude, the world doesn't have to trick you. Like, it could put it on the front and people are still going to fall for it. Like, it is not a trick.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
But they were so concerned about the media's trying to trick you. And she sent me the video that circulated on, I guess, YouTube or whatever. And it's about media conglomerates. But it's like, oh, it's mind control. And it shows one news outlet saying something. And then it's repeated by a second. And then by a second or third or fourth or fifth. And all of a sudden you have a screen full of news outlets from all over the country. But they're all saying the same script.
Thing. Yes.
And she's like, aren't you bothered by this? And I was like, not in the slightest. Media conglomerates own each other, and they specialize certain segments for the local population. But this is a really efficient way to disseminate national news. Like, why would I be bothered by that? And she was like, you don't think it's mind control and it's this and this and this? And I was like, girl, you will copy and paste a marketing statement from your uppers and pass it down to everybody in your
You're doing the same
downline.
thing.
It's the same thing. And why do you feel like you are mind control?
Right. Hello.
Because pot calling the kettle black. And
Right.
so I was like, I'm not bothered about it when I see it in the media. I am bothered about it when I see it in your social media network marketing scheme. But
I actually hilariously saw a left-leaning group who was hitting out at like all the independent, like the Daily Wires and Not even, of course, Fox News has drifted more towards it. They're considered more middle road now.
What is it?
Yeah.
Was that before or after they had to pay $800 million in a lawsuit where
probably.
they admitted about lying about election fraud?
Yeah,
Huge
exactly.
judgment.
Yeah,
Huge
that
settlement.
was painful. Yeah, ouchie.
And didn't have to disclose to their viewing audience that they paid it. As per the settlement, they didn't have to even tell their viewers.
Which
hey, by the way,
everybody else is going to tell. It's like, so you don't have to. Like, it's going to get out there.
Everybody else can tell them, but their viewers aren't going to believe it unless it comes from the mouth of Fox News. So unless Fox News says we had to pay $800 million in a settlement where we admit that we lied about some election fraud.
Right.
Anyway.
No, but I was just going to say, so some left-leaning, whatever, picked like all of these very like rogue, kind of independent, fringy, right-wing, and did the montage, and it's the same thing. It's just like, and so, which is really interesting because
they allege that they're clear and unbiased, and yet they're sharing a script?
Well, it is startling, and I haven't taken the time to think through why. I don't know if there's like the conservative version of that, where like, you know, the AP News version for the more right-wing side of things. I don't know. I really don't know why, but it was very eye-opening because, when I've seen like 50 people on, you know, because the one you were talking about where it ends up being like 50 little talking heads.
Saying the same thing.
Saying the same thing. You're like, oh my God, this is really wild. It's really, they really are all kind of handed a script and are just reading from it, which is what a newscaster does.
Are you bothered by McDonald's? Like, do all franchises hurt your feelings?
Wait, all the burgers are the same. This is the
not
genius
a mom and
of
pop
America.
Restaurant.
Yeah,
it's not a homemade
it was
recipe.
weird though, and I don't have a great explanation for like why do all the little Tucker Carlsons and Daily Wires, why were they all parroting the same thing? And again, it's like probably like in their case, like just whatever the idea that was in the zeitgeist in the moment, it was just like this is how they're talking about it, and they're all talking about the same thing, so they're all kind of say the same thing. I don't know, whatever it was, fascinating.
A way to seem authentic in that industry would be to read the top-down manager, whatever they hand you from the top, and paraphrase it. Mm-hmm. Like,
Like,
give us the
Put
book report.
Polish. Your
Fifth grade book report version of this, and then people don't think that you are mind controlling.
There you go.
You're just an informed citizen reporting on the news. So where they mess up perhaps was reading it verbatim off the teleprompter.
Which, this is the thing. If you're in the news, every single person needs to watch Anchorman. Do you remember how great Anchorman was? Where he would just read whatever they stuck in front of him.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Remember Will Ferrell playing the Anchorman? I just remember, like, I can't remember what they stuck in his feed, and he would just literally just happily read whatever. He would just read whatever.
If you're in front of an audience, I could see where that's actually probably more true than not, because you are paying more attention to your body language and am I looking right, and you are not able to think about what you're saying while you're delivering
and
a
you're
believable
trusting that,
performance.
Yeah.
So, politics and everything else, going off script would be so difficult in front of a crowd. That's one thing that Obama did really, really well. His poise in front of an audience was so authentic.
Yeah.
Like his just natural candor in front of an audience was beautiful.
Such an amazing
beautiful
speaker.
thing to see. Yep.
I tell you what, though, our little friends on the Republican side, that Vivek Ramaswamy, I know he's ducked out.
Is he officially out?
Yeah, he's out. He's which I knew the whole time that was what he was going to do. He was gonna go up as high as he could and then support Trumpy boy. Scary thing, by the way, when I heard his speech the other day, he mentioned the word like revolution and whatever a bunch of times. I'm like, oh God, man, we do not need to stir this pot right now. But anyways, Vivek Ramaswamy, or however you say his name, I don't know if that's how you say his name.
Moneybags.
Yeah, he is I was thinking about him the other day compared to Obama. Definitely the best communicator since Obama. Interesting that both are, I know, Vivek was born here, but of foreign parents, and of course Obama also, his dad of course was not a U.S. citizen, was foreign. So I wonder if there's something about like the grasp, like there was, I don't know, there's something in there that was interesting to me. Like, I wonder if like the grasp of the language is a more sacred, they put more time into the craft. I don't know. Anyways, both extraordinary communicators. But Obama definitely is measured and thoughtful, and Vivek is like someone put like dynamite up his rear end and just lit it on fire, and he just like I've never seen more like stuff coming out of someone's mouth. It's amazing.
I didn't watch a single debate.
It,
What a waste!
I watched one of them.
After the spill, I wish
no,
I
don't.
had seen.
It's all stupidity. It's honestly, I'm waiting. You keep waiting for the adults to enter the room and just tear down the curtain.
It's getting worse and worse.
I don't even know if I think it has gotten worse over time compared to like, if you see the older debates like Reagan and earlier, there was definitely decorum and a lot more of that. Like,
it felt nice.
It felt nicer.
Like, oh, look at these respectable people discussing. And now I realize it was probably all fake then too.
It probably was too.
But we took the gloves off and now we've just gone straight
WWE.
UFC.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
barefoot.
UFC I respect. WWE is a little bit more of like the
theatrics.
scripted.
That's absolutely
it's a
true.
scripted,
That's what it is. It is
entertaining performance, right?
Inauthentic.
Hello, lovely friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And it would mean the world if you would tell other people about this podcast and maybe even spam your social media accounts with just how much you're enjoying it. If you are, of course. Also, commenting and rating us on whatever platform you're downloading or streaming from is incredibly helpful to a little startup podcast like this one. On the other hand, if you are dissatisfied with your listening experience, please leave all of that hate on someone else's podcast. Just maybe to confuse them a little bit, right? But most of all, we hope you keep looking up and looking for the sunny side of life.